And the goals tonight for Manchester United came from Marcel Sabitzer. He's been talking to Danny Jameson.
Marcel, how did that slip away tonight?
Yeah, I have problems finding the right words. It's like a roller coaster game. Playing a good first half, had good chances, and yeah, we had to finish the game off. And yeah, at the end, it's a draw, and that's not what we wanted. We have to go to Seville and get it done there.
As you say, the game started so well, the first half hour in particular, lots of chances, you scored twice. What changed?
Percent less, you can give the game away. So I think the last minutes were a bit strange. One man down, we had to get the result done. But yeah, as I said, two stupid goals, and yeah, that's not what we wanted.
Is that more frustrating, the fact that it's self-inflicted, the goals that you conceded?
Yeah, very frustrated. You cannot concede like this. That's not focused until the end, and when you're 2-0 up at home, you have to get it done.
Old Trafford, wow, what a night it has been. We did not see that second half comeback from Sevilla coming. It ended a 2-2 draw as we head into the second legs. And the first legs of all of tonight's quarterfinals have all just wrapped up. So this is how things are looking ahead of next week's return fixtures. On the same side of the draw as Manchester United, Juventus have a 1-0 lead over Sporting Lisbon going into the game next week in Portugal. And Feyenoord are leading Roma by a goal to nil. Jose Mourinho's Roma side trailing in the first leg. And it's a 1-1 draw between Bayer Leverkusen and Union Saint-Gilloise. Our focus here at Old Trafford, though, is on that 2-2 draw between Manchester United and Sevilla. United were so comfortable, 2-0 up at half-time. How did they manage to throw away that 2-goal lead?
It's a good question, Julie. I don't really know. It feels a strange second half, especially I don't know if they were just too complacent, too confident that Sevilla weren't great in the first half. And when you watch the first half, United were playing so well, so confident. You're thinking this is 3, 4, 5, and it's going to be the end of the game tonight. And the second half was a complete disaster, really. Malacius really should have dealt with that first goal at source, and he didn't. And from then on, it was a really difficult night. I think El Nesri was a bit of a handful when he came on. Owen, he looked good in the air, but Malacius has to deal with that. He can't afford to let that ball bounce. He has to come and just get rid of it, and he's unaware of the danger behind him, and that's where the danger is. You can look, it's an easy ball. Go and just swing your right foot at. You can't afford to let that bounce. Maybe he thinks it's going to skid on. I don't know, but from then on, it just seems to go from bad for worse. You think of injuries, suspensions. Then they get the second goal. It's not a great second half from him.
No, it was a huge surprise. I mean, I think Erik ten Hag will be really frustrated because the goal didn't need to happen. Credit, Navas had a big impact on the game, and Nesri had an impact on the game. They got more bodies in the box, more crosses, but it's an easy ball for Malacia to deal with, and maybe because it's on his weaker right foot, he was just a little bit wary of, with it bouncing awkwardly, does he take it? He doesn't really know that the attacker's in behind him. Just gets caught, and it's such an easy one to deal with. When he looks at it back tomorrow, he'll be thinking, why didn't I just clear it? And from that moment on, it just felt like the game completely changed.
Can you say the same thing about the second own goal?
No, it's so difficult for Harry. He's just too close to it. And this could go anywhere. I don't know how it ends up in the back of the net. It looks like when you see it live, you think, it's a great header. This is going so far wide, it's almost unbelievable from Nesri, and just ricochets off Harry. There's nothing he can do. He tries to get out of the way, comes straight off his forehead into the bottom corner. It's just so unlucky for Harry.
He was a handful when he came on, though.
It was really.
I think he'll be starting the game next week. He's got a leap in him. I know he did well in the World Cup as well, scored a couple of goals. You never felt like Sevilla was putting tons of pressure on United. It was just a really strange second half when you can only put it down to complacency.
Can that happen in games when you've played? If you've played against opponents that have been particularly weak in a first half and you've taken a lead and been quite comfortable, can you come out as a team and almost take your foot off the gas and assume the game's done?
I think it is possible. I think we've just seen it. It is possible. Did it happen when we played? Possibly. The manager would have allowed us to be complacent in the second half. When you're in a quarter final like that, this is the time to win this game, to win this tie. You win it here tonight. That should be 3, 4, 5-0 against the opposition that you're playing. And the only thing I could think of, they felt it was going to be too easy. They felt it was just going to be a stroll in the park. And you just can't do that in European competition. You can't do it against a club like Seville. We know the record.
Not at 2-0 though, can you?
No, not at 2-0.
To be fair, I don't think they took the foot off the gas. The 3-0 was there. Anthony had hit it off the post.
I think that was the only thing in the second half.
I think Weghorst had a half a chance as well.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way that the 3-0 felt more likely than Sevilla scoring. This is it from Anthony. Does brilliantly. So good coming inside. And it just comes straight off the post. Normally that nestles into that corner, and it just really at that point I thought the 3-0 was going to come, and it probably should have. But with the mistake from Malacia, the game just completely turned, and then Sevilla were the ones on attack. This is the one from Weghorst. You think he turns and shoots goals? He sets Malacia, and they just get bodies in front.
I think he turns and shoots. When you look back at who's on the edge of the box, Malacia, I don't think he's somebody you think is going to score. I think a proper centre forward with real quality. If that's a Martial, I think he's either back-heeling it and trying to score, or he turns quickly and gets his shot quickly and scores. He's 5-6 yards out.
Can you blame Erik ten Hag, though, for taking Anthony Martial off in the 62nd minute?
No. I think, obviously, with the situation with Marcus Rashford, first of all, Anthony Martial was fantastic today. He played so well. I think maybe more the surprise was that Bruno came off. Maybe he just felt like he wanted to get some other players some minutes, but the game definitely changed at that point. I can understand why he did it as a manager, because he's obviously losing Marcus, playing so many minutes. He didn't want to lose Anthony as well. But it just felt like with the subs that Sevilla made, it did change the game. It impacted Sevilla, and United weren't the same, didn't have the same quality out there.
Well, a player who Manchester United looked to have certainly lost for potentially the rest of the season, Paul, is Lisandro Martinez. This did not look good. What do you imagine has happened here? Because we haven't had any confirmation yet.
Yeah, look, it's difficult for us to assume, but it does look like he's done his Achilles, which is a bad one. I remember actually playing a game with Nicky Butt, and he did something very similar, and he asked me who kicked me, because he felt like somebody goes through him, and I'm sure Martinez feels... I've never done the injury myself, I'm not sure about Owen, but when there's nobody near you like that and something at the back of your ankle, heel goes, then you'd have to suspect it's an Achilles one, and it doesn't look great.
You can see he almost looks around, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, his international teammates carried him off, which is obviously an amazing gesture. He probably didn't want to go off on a stretcher. He's that type, Martinez. But, my thoughts go out to him, because that is the worst, the worst feeling ever as a player. You've done something wrong. And, often it looks that way with an Achilles. We don't want to speculate. But for him to go down that way, he is such a warrior. That would be such a huge worry. He's a fabulous player. Varane went off earlier before that. And now Martinez, that would be a huge blow. He's been an absolute...
It'll be a big miss.
Huge miss.
He's shown real character and leadership skills, a strength, a solidness to that back four, and along with Varane as well. I think it probably makes it a 50-50 game next week now.
And no Bruno Fernandes either, because he picked up a booking in this game as well, which means he misses the second leg. But you're not happy with this at all, are you?
It's a ridiculous decision from the referee. What's Bruno supposed to do? He's a yard away. I mean, he's right on top of it, by the way, the referee. That's not a yellow card, I don't think at all. I
thought the referee was poor on that. Any sign of a foul, he couldn't wait to get his yellow card out. And look, just give the free kick. Yeah, it's not intentional on ball, is it? He's stood a yard away from him.
You can see what he thinks about it.
Well, you're missing Varane, potentially missing Martinez, missing Fernandes. That first half was so under control. Could have been 3 or 4-0, and all of a sudden everything completely changes with the injuries and now missing Bruno. It's a big surprise. That second half was a big surprise.
And of course, when you talk about people that are missing, Marcus Rashford, we don't know if he'll definitely miss the second leg, but judging by the press conference yesterday and the comments that we heard from the manager, he's likely to miss the second leg as well. Did you see enough tonight from the players in front of goal that they're going to be OK for that game, for the second leg?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think missing Marcus will be as serious as probably missing Martinez, Bruno and Varane. I think we've seen Martial tonight looking really sharp in that first half. I think Anthony's looking better with each game he plays. I still expect a little bit more from Sancho, but I think in them front three, there's still quality to score goals.
Oh, Manchester United, really comfortable. We wondered who would fill the Marcus Rashford goal-scoring void. Marcel Sabitzer, not the name you expected.
No, it wasn't, no, but look, he scored 2 really good goals. We know he's the lad who has coming from Anthony Martial has been fantastic on, 3 or 4 occasions. He's been really good. He little flick in there to Bruno, and this is a way to pass where passes the ball away from the defender, and it's almost a centre forward's goal. It's a fantastic touch from Sabitzer, and it's not the position you expect him to be in really, but again, Bruno playing that deepest position can see these things, and that's how valuable he is. And as I say, passing it away from the defender to the wrong side of him, it gives Sabitzer no option but to place that ball in that position, control it there. OK, he's a little bit fortunate with deflection, but really good goal on him.
Yeah, Anthony Martial was brilliant. I think his link-up play in the whole game was fabulous. And again here on the second one, he's been able to get the ball down and drive forward. But with Bruno playing deeper, Sabitzer's allowed to drive forward there. That's a centre-forward's run. The timing is perfect, and it's a great finish. I think Ten would be absolutely delighted with Sabitzer coming in. Martial looks fit, he looks sharp. He has so much talent, Anthony. It's almost unbelievable. It's great to see him. But Sabitzer with 2 fantastic finishes, and just feels like there's plenty more goals in this United side.
Free-flowing football, but are Sevilla giving Manchester United too much space?
Well, they're in the league position they're in for a reason. They struggled all season. They don't have any stability in the back line. No real legs in midfield. Not even playing with the centre forward. So I think United, if they want, they can score more goals. This was their only shot on target. Nianzou with a header, David with a brilliant save, and Varane with a great reaction. But Man United have absolutely dominated that first half. Yeah,
for all of Manchester United's dominance, they needed De Gea and Varane to keep that 2-goal advantage, Paul.
Yeah, look, it's a save you expect David to make it. Again, if a Sevilla player was taking a rope and trying to really attack that, then it'd be difficult. But Varane is, the size of him, the sheer size of him has made him, be able to clear that ball away. And United have to be careful. They're a much better team than these. I'm not sure the quality of Sevilla, the 13th in La Liga, and they look a poor team.
That loves its football. I'm talking, of course, about Manchester, and it's a real pleasure to be here tonight at Old Trafford. My name is Derek Ray, and joining me in the commentary position is the former Arsenal and England fullback Lee Dixon. And no question, this ought to be a game that gets pulses racing. It is Manchester United taking on Sevilla.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. Should be a good game, this one. I always wanted to start the game on the front foot, fast play, force the opposition to respond. Hopefully we get that from the start of this match.
Not a great... Punished by the referee. He's now got to walk something of a tightrope.
Yeah, he knows exactly where he stands. Look at the referee, how he's told him off there. No yellow card, but certainly knows what the referee's thinking.
Scott McTominay. Well, he's a player who just seems to get better and better. I'm talking, of course, about Bruno Fernandes. Lee, what do you think we'll see from him in this game?
Well, virtually everything. Quick feet, quick mind, sees the pass before anybody else. So difficult to stop a player like that.
Well, a really single-minded piece of defending to make sure nothing untoward happened. Cavani. It's a fine United move in the making. Must be! Really good diving stop. And over comes the corner. Well, no end product. Growing pressure here, and another corner. And now the delivery. Not the result from the set piece they were looking for. Scott McTominay. Harry Maguire now. Giving the ball away. And a throw-in forthcoming. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka. Cavani might fancy it. And a goal here, Cavani! First goal of the contest.
Well, here's the replay, and it's a great ball into the danger area, and that's a good header. Eye on the ball, concentration. It's a lovely finish.
Well, the goal again, albeit from a different angle.